At 1:55 a.m., on a cold April night in Columbus, Ohio, a 27-year-old med student walked into a bar packed wall-to-wall with people. Music was blasting, drinks were spilling, security cameras were rolling. He laughed, he talked to friends, he flirted with two women near the entrance. And then, he vanished. Not, left quietly. Not, nobody noticed. Vanished. No camera ever caught him walking out. No witness remembers seeing him leave. No body has ever been found. This is not an urban legend. This is not internet creepypasta. This is the real-life disappearance of Brian Shaffer. A case so bizarre that even detectives admit it feels like reality skipped a frame. Who Brian Shaffer really was. Brian Shaffer didn't look like a guy who was about to disappear. He was a third-year medical student at Ohio State University. Smart, driven, but not the stuck-up type. Friends say he was laid back, funny, and easy to talk to. He wasn't reckless. He wasn't violent. He wasn't running from the law. Brian had plans. He talked about finishing med school. He talked about traveling. He talked about moving forward. But behind the scenes, his life had taken a serious hit. Just weeks before that night, Brian's mother had died of cancer. It wrecked him. Anyone who's lost a parent knows that kind of pain doesn't clock out. It just sits with you. Friends noticed he'd been quieter lately. Still social, still functional, but carrying weight. Even so, nobody thought he was at risk of disappearing. That's what makes this case hit different. April 1, 2006, a normal night. Friday night in Columbus meant one thing: bars were jumping. Brian met up with friends to celebrate the start of spring and just blow off steam. They hopped around a few bars near campus before landing at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a popular college bar inside the South Campus Gateway complex. Important detail that matters later: right finger, the Ugly Tuna was not street level. To enter or leave, you had to go down an escalator or stairs. Those areas were monitored by security cameras. Inside, the place was chaos in the usual college bar way. Loud music, drunk laughter, people packed shoulder to shoulder. Brian was seen on camera inside the bar around closing time. He's relaxed, smiling, talking to two women near the entrance. No argument, no tension, no sign of distress. Around 1:55 a.m., his friends decide to call it a night and grab food. Brian stays behind. Nothing weird about that. That's the last confirmed sighting of Brian Shaffer. When morning comes, and Brian doesn't. At first, nobody panics. People assume Brian crashed at someone's place or slept it off. Phones were different back then, no constant location sharing, no red receipts. But as hours turn into a full day, concern kicks in. Brian misses work, misses obligations, doesn't answer calls. This wasn't like him. Friends check his apartment. His stuff is there. His car is parked where he left it. His phone isn't moving. That's when police get involved. And that's when everything goes sideways. The security footage, and the problem with it. Investigators pull the surveillance tapes from the Ugly Tuna. They expect a simple answer. Instead, they find a nightmare. Checkmark Brian entering the bar. Checkmark Brian inside the bar. Checkmark Brian talking near the exit. Crossmark no footage of Brian leaving. Not on the escalator. Not on the stairs. Not outside the building. Police rewind. They watch it again. And again. Nothing. In a packed bar, with cameras rolling, a man disappears without being recorded leaving. That's not supposed to happen. Searching every inch. Police lock down the bar and surrounding areas. They search bathrooms, back rooms, storage areas, construction zones nearby. They question bartenders, bouncers, security guards, the women Brian was talking to. Nobody saw anything strange. No fight, no collapse, no one dragging a body. And here's the creepiest part. Nobody even remembers seeing him walk out. The blind spot. Eventually, investigators notice something that keeps this case alive to this day. Near the exit, there was a brief camera blind spot, caused by construction equipment. Theoretically, Brian could have slipped through that exact gap at the exact moment cameras weren't catching it. But that opens another question. If he left, where did he go? A man without a trace. After that night, Brian's phone never pinged again. His bank accounts were untouched. No credit card use. No confirmed sightings. He didn't take luggage. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't leave a note. People don't just erase themselves like that. Why this case feels wrong. People disappear all the time, but usually there's a trail. A witness. A body. A transaction. Something. Brian Shaffer left nothing. No evidence of suicide. No evidence of murder. No evidence of escape. Just a man who walked into a bar and never came back out. And the scariest part, someone knows what happened. They've just never spoken up.